This won't come as a surprise to many of you, but gaming journos are massive hypocrites. These activists do not care about making the industry the best it can be. They simply care about products releasing that fit the narratives that they want to push. And now a Kotaku journalist has been caught in 4K previously praising things like Baldur's Gate 3 sex scenes, while also now shunning something like Stellar Blade for the new very revealing outfits. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or through YouTube memberships. Now, there is nothing that I could say that would make these journos look worse. They truly put themselves in the worst positions possible, and they make themselves the laughingstock of the gaming industry. But now we have pure hypocrisy on full display, which I love to call out, and it's from a Kotaku writer. Nonetheless, Kotaku's reputation can't get any worse at this point, but they previously praised things like sex in Baldur's Gate 3, while now they are attacking Stellar Blade simply for having new revealing outfits. We're not talking about full-blown nudity either, we're simply talking about some outfits showing a little bit more skin. Now, if her stance had always been, I don't like sex scenes or nudity in video games, I would not agree with that, but at least they would be consistent. But of course, these people are massive hypocrites. They don't care about consistency. These are both, of course, Kotaku articles, and both from Claire Jackson. It says, oh hey, there's cute new attire for even Stellar Blade thanks to the new version, and yup, adults on the internet are reacting in a totally healthy, productive, and mature way about it. Well, no, that's not effing true at all. As expected, some people are thrilled to see more digital nudity, while others are stamping their feet upset that ShiftUp hasn't given them what they wanted, which is a free speech and digital tits. Y'all know porn exists, right? And the people there don't wear any clothes. Now, of course, newsflash, we are not wanting Eve to be completely nude. We simply want the costumes that we were promised, the costumes we had seen for years. Yes, people were promised an uncensored product, and we were shown uncensored outfits. We pre-ordered expecting that content, and we didn't get it. People are allowed to be upset over that. I'm so sick and tired of these people not being able to come up with a decent argument, and then they just say, oh, you guys know porn exists, right? You could go fap to that. We are not talking about fap material here. We're simply talking about a company promising us a product and us wanting it. And of course, Sony, potentially forcing them to censor their product so it gets released. These are not things that should be pushed to the side and forgotten about. These are things that are extremely important, and censorship is becoming an industry norm. At this point, there are tons of large releases that end up censored, and instead of actually addressing our argument and addressing why we're upset, they simply say, oh, you guys know porn exists, right? Yes, we do, but that is not the point. They also say, anyway, you should grab these revealing new outfits or try on other new ones, which in my opinion are far more tasteful, cute, and sexy. It's perfectly fine if you prefer the costumes in this game where Eve is more covered up. That's not a problem at all for me. I think there are a slew of amazing costumes in this game, and the Raven one is one of my favorites, and that one is a bodysuit. She's got a little bit of cleavage. All of her assets are in view though, and definitely emphasized. But again, it's fine if you like those outfits, but don't trash people for simply wanting what we were promised. And of course, they previously had praised sex in Baldur's Gate 3, which I don't have a problem with. If you want to, go through these sex scenes and you want to do romances, that's okay. I don't have a problem with the content itself. I have a problem with their stance, with their inconsistency. They previously wrote an article titled Baldur's Gate 3 players now speedrunning sex. Do they sit here and talk about how disgusting this is and how people could just simply go in fap? No, they talk about how this is an absolutely epic RPG. It's giving players all of the type of content that they would want, and players are appreciating the fact that they put these systems in the game instead of being consistent. So clearly they're just trying to get clicks. They are desperate to stay relevant. They are grasping at relevancy at this point, and they need as many clicks as possible. So at this point, they don't care about, their morals. They simply care about getting those sweet, sweet clicks for a couple of cents. She had previously said Baldur's Gate 3 is an enormous narrative game with oodles of content and characters you can chat with to convince them to join your party, learn about interesting backgrounds, things like that. There's a speedrunner, though, who, in addition to having the current any percent world record for finishing the game in just over 10 minutes, holds the record for the sex percent speedrun, managing to get laid in just under 8 minutes, which to me is pretty comical. I think that things like this are pretty hilarious when players do them. I don't have a problem with there being some kind of like sex record in this game, but it's just the sheer hypocrisy that boggles my mind and so many other people's, because of course Manga Lawyer had actually tweeted both of these talking about, behold pure copium, Stellar Blade wins, and people are in the comments laughing at this activist, and it comes as no surprise. So many people do not like or trust these journos anymore. They have proven that they are willing to set aside their actual job, which is covering video games and wanting the industry to get better just so their narrative can be pushed further. And they unfairly cover games, like, again, with this, celebrating one game for having sex while, denigrating another simply for having revealing costumes. I mean, these people are absolutely livid over Stellar Blade's existence, and this has been going on for months at this point. Even before the game had released, there was a lot of backlash from these activists, and they just do not understand why we, as gamers, enjoy Stellar Blade, and again, why we are upset over the promises that were not kept. People are saying things like, when are they just going to focus on guides? They would actually have to play video games in order to write guides for them, and we know that they don't do that, so I don't know how they're supposed to be writing guides, like 50 a week. People are also pointing out how even some of Eve's body proportions seem to be slightly toned down, and of course, the outfits, the new ones, comparing the old to the ones that we actually ended up getting in the game. People are also saying things like dumbasses to attractive female characters. Is this porn? That's all they ever say, is you guys are just porn addicts. You guys don't understand. You can just go on the internet and fap to that. We are talking about a video game because we want to play the video game. We simply want what we were promised. I mean, it's no surprise to see that she did this, judging by her Twitter bio, which says ruiner of fun and joy. That's basically every Kotaku writer in a nutshell. I mean, there is nobody at that outlet that has an ounce of joy within them. There is still, of course, a lot of discussion surrounding Stellar Blade, and we've been eagerly awaiting any updates we could get from Shift Up regarding future outfits, things like photo mode, if they will actually end up adding that. I know a lot of people are speculating that maybe it won't end up making it into a future update. Only time will tell, but of course we have journos still melting down over this game existence and proving how hypocritical they actually are. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.